Testing 1 2 1 2. I had the camera on before. I got to turn off the title screen. All right, let me just make sure audio sounds good. I'll test it as I go on with the stream. And hopefully the frame rate looks okay too. I hope. Testing 1 2 1 2. I had the camera on before. I got to turn off the title screen. All right, let me just. All right, the frame rate looks okay. It looks pretty decent. All right. So I haven't done a stream in a while. I just want to explain what's been happening. I've been doing a lot of like freelance video work that's been keeping me distracted, and there were other personal life things that came up in between that I had to take care of. Not going to get into detail of that because it's, like I said, it's personal. So and because of that, I just haven't had really much of a chance to like sit down and play a video game for a live stream. And in between the last time I did a stream to now, I've acquired a new Philips CDI system that I have hooked up. I wanted to get one for a while. That I was trying to decide whether if I wanted to get my my original CDI, which I actually have it right here. This is it. This is the 450 model. I was trying to decide if I wanted to get this one RGB modded so I could use my RGB output or input thing on my FrameMeister. And some of the systems I actually have now have SCART cables or RGB SCART cables. My Jaguar, my TurboGrafx 16 with that booster thing in the back. In fact, actually the cable I'm using for the TurboGrafx 16 SCART thing that I have is meant for the Sega Genesis Model 2 setup that I have. And I also have an adapter that I can use that same cable with my Sega Master System. But it's currently being used with my TG16. But anyway, I wanted to see if I could get this one modified. The guy that I actually bought this off of did do modifications on these CDI systems, but they were nothing against him. They were just really expensive. And I ended up going with one that just had like the regular RCA out on the back, the yellow, white, and red cable, the classic AV cable. So I thought, all right, maybe I'll just stick with that for a while. And then maybe I'll get it modified. I ended up actually finding another model of the CDI, a different one. It's the 210 model. It's a bigger version of it. It has a disc tray that pops out. It kind of looks like the one that the Angry Video Game Nerd has, except it's not as big. It's actually like, it looks like the size of a regular VHS like DVD player. Did I pronounce that right? VHS. I can't pronounce that word for some reason. It always sounds like I'm saying VH chess or some shit. I don't know. Goddamn it, speech impediment. So anyway, I ended up getting this model off of eBay because this one in particular actually has the SCART output built into it. So I didn't need to get it modified. Although this one actually is slightly modified and refurbished. The guy actually replaced the timekeeper battery in it so I could save all the data in it, and I'm able to change out the battery with like a button cell battery. So is this one, actually. I forgot to mention it. Yeah, this one also does have the timekeeper battery modification so I could change it out, the battery with a little button cell battery. I also had to get a digital video card for this so that some of like the FMV full motion video games could work on it. That one I actually have the new one that's hooked up. Is actually it does have the digital video card set up in it, thankfully. It was a little difficult because I had to get a step-up converter in order for it to power up here in America. The voltage system is a little different between Europe and America. It's more powerful over there than it is here. So I had to get one of those things, but I got to make sure to unplug that because the one that I got, I've seen some like mixed reviews on it, and I'm just praying nothing ever happens, you know. So I had to wait for that. The timekeeper battery was modified in this one, the new one that's hooked up. And then the disc tray was modified as well, or fixed up a little bit. And then the laser diode inside of it actually is replaced and refurbished as well. So, other than that, I wanted to get an RGB CDI for a bit. I've been looking at some for a while, and I was even debating about getting the one that I have here off to the side, This one, the 450 model, modified for RGB. But then I ended up getting this one, so I think I'm going to stick to that one for a bit. And then maybe in the future I'll get my 450 model modified with RGB, which would mean that my whole setup, I mean, most of the systems I just have to get like RGB cable. A few of them only do like HDMI because I have some clone systems set up in it. The only system I'd have to really get modified, well, like I said, maybe if I get this one modified, the 450 model, but my 3DO, I have a 3DO as well. It's doing S-video, but it's not as great as I want it to be. So maybe I'll get that one in the future modified with RGB out, which would be great. I did add a new system actually to the setup as well, besides the CDI, but I've had this one system in particular for about a year and a half now. My Atari 5200. It does RCA out. That was modified, but I'm wondering if there will be possibly an RGB modification for it in the future. And I'm hoping the same thing with the 7800. Although there is, I'm getting completely sidetracked. There's an EverDrive for the Atari 7800 that does RGB out. The cartridge has the RGB out or output on it, so I might just get that instead. Anyway, I'm getting off tangent. Let me shut the hell up now. And let's play some CDI. I just have to mention too, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. I'm sorry. When I was hooking up this whole setup, make the camera bigger. When I was hooking this whole setup again, or when I was hooking up the CDI, so it's like kind of organized with the setup, I was having an issue with my Retron 77. It's a Atari 2600 clone system or emulator system. For some reason, it's not working with my capture card, and I swear, I think it worked earlier this year. I had gotten a new capture card because my previous one, the HD60S Plus, was kind of glitching out with the whole setup that I had here, so I got an older version. I just got like the HD60, and I swear the Retron 77 worked fine with it, but there's some issue with it now, so it's temporarily out of the setup until I can figure what's going on with it. It works. The audio I forgot to mention. So the audio wasn't working. If I plugged the system straight into the TV, it was fine. Or the audio was perfect. I plug it into the capture card, it wasn't working for some reason. So that's something I'll figure out eventually. Anyway, enough of me. Let's actually play the fucking CDI. I'm only going to be playing one game for the stream, as it says. It's Mega Maze. Have it right here. Hopefully you can see it. Let's start it up, and we're going to watch the whole intro. Just the Philips CDI intro. Actually, fuck it. We'll do the game intro as well, so enjoy. Look at that nice crisp RGB, and that's the reason why I updated it. My systems to RGB was because most of them I have, not most of them, what am I saying? This is why I need to be scripted. I only have some of the systems with RGB mods, or not mods, cables. Let me just shut up, let's just watch the intro, talk about it afterwards actually. Alright, let's just play. Let's play Mega Maze. It's a pretty interesting game. It's actually like kind of fun. It's like a puzzle game in a sense. So you control this blue marble, but when you move, so does those the purple marbles, and you cannot touch those. And your goal is to dodge those or to keep as far away as possible from those and try to kill them. And this is the way to do it. This is really easy. You just take those. Do it like that. It's a whole puzzle game, and then you do that, and the goal here is you got to try to get to where that green goal intersection is. And there you go. That's it. That's Mega Maze, and it's a pretty mindless game. Mindless. You don't have to use your mind at all. Well, you kind of do actually with the figuring out how to avoid the marbles while you're also moving as well. Yeah, see, like right here, this is going to be kind of confusing. Figure out. Unless, I think I know what I'm going to do. So you got to go slow with this one. Make sure they don't have any momentum on you. And then what you do is move down. And there you go. It's a little bit of a puzzle game, so you do have to use your mind with it. I take that back. I don't know what I was saying. Like I said, I'm not very good with being off the cuff and trying to have like an actual conversation. I have to be scripted sometimes when I do videos. Makes me actually look smarter. There you go, that's the goal. I just realized that actually looked like a snake. In fact, I was looking at the back of this, and some of them, there's one here that looks just like a regular bug. One looks like a butterfly. Let's see this one. Yeah, so some of the systems that I have most of the systems I have actually have RGB built into them. There's a few that don't. My Nintendo 64 doesn't, and I don't think the GameCube does either. And then obviously the 3DO doesn't have it. 7800, the Atari 7800 and 5200 don't have it, but most of the systems here do. Some of the systems I'm already doing HDMI out. Like I have, what's it called? I have my AVS system. Let's see if I can actually. No, that's not a good idea. Oh shit! I think I fucked myself up. Wait, never mind. We're good. No, we're good. All right. Just have to see how am I gonna get this marble. There we go. The two systems, or well, a few of the systems that I have that do HDMI out is my my AVS Nintendo or my NES clone system, my Super NT by Analog. It's a Super Nintendo clone system. My Wii U, the PS3 and the 360. And then actually some of the systems have these really cheap Hyperkin HDMI out cables, and they're well, that's funny. One of my friends just messaged me, what's the CDI? Let me just answer them real quick. I don't know which account. Oh, that was for the EPYScope Instagram. I just wrote a multimedia CD system that flopped in the 90s. And it's entirely true. It's a shame that this system flopped because it's not only it's a CD system, you can play music CDs on it. It's a game system as well. You could play CD games on it, obviously for the specific ones, the CDI games. It also had a lot of educational games on it. That's really, I think, what it was meant for, because a lot of these systems really were for, a lot of them went into schools for, like, helping kids learn stuff. In fact, I might have even played one of these when I was younger, for all I know, when I was in school. I think. It also had these video CDs, and essentially it was able to play movies. It was a multimedia system before a DVD player was made. But even now, DVD players are not being really used anymore because of the streaming services, Netflix, and all that. Even Blu-ray. Like, I have a few Blu-ray players, and we hardly use them anymore. The only reason I keep them is because I do have actual like DVDs and Blu-rays that I do play every once in a while. But most of the time, I'm just streaming stuff, depending on what movie it is. So, yeah, the thing with the CDI, it flopped because it came out during a time when Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis was like the two big game systems at the time, and those being the two 16-bit systems, for some reason it actually overlapped the CDI, which I don't know how many bits it was. It might have been maybe 32. I don't know. I have to research that. But what was really cool about the CDI was that it had full motion video for certain games. One of the games I have actually over there is called Burn Cycle, and it's like a cyberpunk kind of like game with elements of full motion video in it, or FMV, and it's pretty cool. And the same goes with the 3DO. The 3DO is the same thing. Now, what was I talking about? So some of the systems I actually have here, I used these Hyperkin HDMI cables. They were like $30 each, and I have like, I don't know how many systems hooked up to this setup, like 20 systems. But anyway, I also forgot to mention the other HDMI system I had hooked up for a moment was my Retron 77, but I had to take it out for a moment. I really need to go on ADHD medication because I can't remember shit. Anyway, I regret getting the HDMI Hyperkin cables for most of these systems because you would have to plug them in, you have to power it up with a USB cable, and I don't really have that many like power strips with them on it, so I'd have to get the little bricks. And the quality looks like shit. So I started experimenting with the SCART cables and realized I made a fucking mistake when doing that. So now I'm like slowly upgrading everything to SCART. So if I could go back about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would tell myself, hey, listen, don't even go with like those cheap HDMI cables. They're not good. Just go for SCART. SCART is a hell of a lot better. All right. How do I open this up? How do I do this? Oh, I wonder. Oh, I could kill those in there too. Oh shit, actually that was probably not a good idea. Let me just restart. I forget how to do this one. Oh. I wonder if the purple... Oh, you know what? I just realized. Wonder if... That's it. That's how it works. Okay. I wonder... Just gotta watch out for... There we go. Alright, so the purple one can open up that little door, the little trap door, then I'm... Right. There's a lot of momentum with the marble. Right there, I was able to open it, but I don't think it was a good idea that I actually was able to get the purple marble into here because one of those like corners of the 4 green triangles lit up. I don't think it was good that I did that. It actually doesn't look so bad with the SCAR cable. Like, I mean, I have it hooked up into a FrameMeister. It looks a lot crisper than it did. I'm not sure how it's gonna look on the YouTube video, but that's just because it's going over the internet and latency and Kodak and all that shit. Alright. How do I do this? Oh, shit. Restart. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. Then what I'm going to do is move down here. Alright. Keeps getting stuck. I got scared for a moment. I'm like, is my controller broken? Because the controllers are not cheap. You could actually find more CDI consoles than you can with controllers, and I'm lucky I have this one that looks like the Sega Genesis controller. I have two of these actually. When I got like really big into getting back into collecting these games, I was able to get two of these. I think this one came with my 450 model, and then I have an extra one of these regular like Genesis style controllers right over there. I wanted to get a backup one, you never know. Which brings me to another subject actually about the CDI system that I forgot to mention. So, okay, why is the blue marble not moving? Oh shit. What the fuck? The CDI has two inputs on it, but or two controller inputs. There's one on the front, and then the second one is on the back of the system. Like, who the fuck thought that was a great idea to do something like that for a system? And not to mention, forgot to mention, the 450 model only has one controller input, but there is an adapter that I know of that you plug in the thing to the system where the controller port is on the front, and then it splits into two. So maybe I could have got that for this one, but either way. And there was actually a similar thing with the TurboGrafx 16 because there's only one controller input on it, and then the same with the 3DO. With the TurboGrafx 16, how that worked. Oh shit, I just fucked that up. The TurboGrafx 16, there was an adapter you plug in, and it had 5 controller inputs on it, so you could plug in 5 controllers, but I don't think there was ever any, like, 5-player games. Not that I know of, I really shouldn't say that. I take that back. With the 3DO, you plug in the one controller into the one input that there is on the system, and the second input is actually on the controller itself. So you're daisy chaining these controllers, which in a sense, looking back on it, I think, why is that not moving? There we go. Oh, it was stuck for a second. All right. Oh wait. I just realized I think I know I can't break the marbles. I have to get those into there's little holes in the actual maze itself. I have to get that situated. See, I think the reason why they did the thing with the 3DO with the controllers where they put the one input on the system and then the other inputs were on the actual controller and then you would daisy chain them was to like prevent like wires being going across like the room from the TV to like the couch or wherever you're sitting. All right, let's see this. All right. Oh, that's what you have to do. All right. Oh fuck! I just fucked this up. All right. Let's try this again. Why does it keep... Alright, I guess this is part of level 4. Alright, we gotta think about this one strategically for a moment. How long have I been streaming this for? There's no time on there. Wish there was. Alright. I gotta go slow. Shit. Alright. I gotta think of a better strategy for this one. I think this will be like my last level I'll play for this, because like this one is gonna be confusing, because I do have to go do stuff today, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I have to. Alright, let me just try to figure this out. Oh shit. Let me just keep that ball safe. There we go. Puzzle games, man, they get to me sometimes. A really good puzzle game is Portal 2 on the 360. Well, there's a version of it on the PS3 and I think a PC one as well. Alright. Let's try level 5. Just give it a shot and see what it does, actually. Alright, so the blue one is there. Oh. Oh, this is going to be... This one's going to be very interesting. There we go. Alright, maybe I'll play a few more levels until I get stuck again, and then I'll figure something out with it. Oh, I see. Alright, I'm already stuck. Alright. So I think the goal is I have to get to... Do I have to get to one of them? Alright, just one of them. I thought I had to get to the middle one for a second. probably did. Maybe it's like 2 pathways. Oh, it's gonna be one of these again, really? Come on now. Alright. I think this will be my last one, and then I'm gonna sign off. Level 6. This is level 6, right? Oh, I gotta do this one again. Forget it. Forget it. How long have I played for? About a half hour. It's not bad. I wanted to get something in, you know. Alright, why is it not quitting? We'll just watch the outro to this, see how it is, and go from there. Producer designer Bill Tipper, game maze creator Dave Phillips. I wonder if the system was named after his last name. Software engineers Mark Thomas, Rob Happy, graphic artist Bob Howard, John Wendell. Music and sound effects Jim Wallace. That sounds very familiar. Executive producer Ray Ashton. 1993, Polymedia Communications Corporation. Polymedia, I wonder if that's... That was weird. Yeah. Go back to the big camera. There we go, perfect. So yeah, that is that's Mega Maze for the Philips CDI. I wanted to do another one for a while. Or I've been wanting to do one for a while. Since I think the last one that I did of the CDI streams, I did one probably like 2 years ago. It was for Dark Castle. I'll go grab it real quick. Off my hands. Motion. Yeah. Yeah, I did one on this one. Not this particular one. Because I have the jewel case version of it. Obviously not this one. It's over there. I didn't want to grab it. I got this one. I actually won this one in an eBay auction. I wanted the bigger one because I remember the nerd had it. But it's weird with all this because some of these... I know, or I believe this one in particular, I think this one was the American one, because this system, it's region free. You can play games from Europe, and you can play stuff from here in America, which is awesome, so I don't have to worry about having to get any modifications done on it. Holy cow, it's 2:30 already. It took me forever to just get this whole setup all situated. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping I could do more of these very soon. Sorry it's a quick one. I got some stuff that I need to get done and do, and hopefully I could get back to doing this sooner or later. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys hopefully in this chat. If you're whoever watches, probably not. I'll do another stream very soon. So yeah. All right, let me shut the hell up. play the ending, and go from there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it.